He was raised to be feared, trained to survive through pain, abandoned when he was no longer useful. But kindness rewrote his story. This is the story of Titan, a dog who was taught that his value came from his strength, but learned that true strength is found in love. Titan was born into a world he never chose. Not a home filled with warmth or laughter, but a place where dogs were treated as tools, valued only for their power and endurance. Even as a puppy, he was different. A strong frame, natural power, a presence that could not be ignored. His owners named him Titan, not as prized, but as an expectation. He was destined for a life of conflict. As he grew, his life followed a single path. He was trained harshly, pushed beyond comfort, and taught that survival depended on standing his ground. He didn't learn how to play or how to trust. Instead, he learned restraint, control, and endurance. His world was small and brutal, a constant cycle of preparation and performance. Over the years, Titan became known in his area. People whispered his name with a mix of respect and fear. He was reliable, unyielding, a force to be reckoned with, but no one noticed what was happening inside him. The constant pressure, the bone-deep exhaustion, the silent weight of a life he never asked for. He carried it all, day after day, with quiet dignity. Until one night, everything changed. Before an important event, something was different. Titan moved slower. His usual energy was gone, his powerful body asking for a rest that was never an option. That night, when he could no longer continue, the crowd turned away, and so did the people who had owned him his entire life. He was taken far from the noise, driven to a quiet road, and left alone. Discarded, forgotten, unseen. His purpose served. He was now worthless to them. As dawn approached, Titan opened his eyes. The world was quiet. He stayed still, not from fear, but from a profound exhaustion that had settled deep into his bones. Then, he heard voices. City sanitation workers beginning their shift. One young worker, going about his morning routine, noticed a shape by the side of the road. At first, he thought it was just another stray, a common and sad sight. But then he saw it. A faint movement, the slow rise and fall of a chest. Breathing. Life. Without hesitation, the young man approached. He saw not a monster, but a creature in need. He gently lifted the heavy dog, placed him in a makeshift box, and brought him along for the rest of his shift. After work, he didn't go home. He went straight to a veterinarian. The doctor examined Titan carefully, his hands gentle as he assessed the dog's condition. "He's been through a lot," the vet said, his voice soft but clear, "but he can recover." When Titan was finally allowed to leave the clinic, the young man brought him home. His wife hesitated, her eyes wide with concern. "Aren't dogs like him dangerous?" She asked softly. It was a fair question, given his size and the scars he wore. But their 8-year-old son didn't see danger. He saw something else. He saw tired eyes, a soul that had suffered silently, a heart that was simply broken. Slowly, the boy sat on the floor beside the recovering dog. He didn't try to force an interaction. He just spoke gently, his voice calm and comforting. He offered a hand, a soft touch, and patience, something Titan had never known before. 4 days, the dog stayed still, just observing the family from his corner. He watched them move, listened to their voices, and felt a warmth he couldn't understand. Then, one morning, he wagged his tail. It was a faint, almost imperceptible movement, but to the family, it was a sign of hope. The boy's face lit up with a huge smile. He leaned in and whispered, "From now on, your name is Titan." A new name for a new beginning. A name that still carried strength, but was now wrapped in the promise of love and safety. From that day on, Titan began to learn what it meant to trust again. He discovered the warmth of a soft bed, the simple joy of gentle play, and the profound comfort of quiet moments beside the boy who never gave up on him. Every day, Titan grew a little stronger, not just in body, but in spirit. He learned that life could be safe, that hands could heal instead of hurt, that voices could soothe instead of frighten, and slowly, the dog who had once been feared by everyone began to believe in hope again. The scars of his past would always remain, but his heart was finally learning a new story, one of patience, care, and unconditional love. Weeks passed, turning into months. Titan's physical strength returned, but something else returned with it. Peace. He learned that hands could offer comfort, that voices could be calm, and that he was, for the first time in his life, completely safe. He became gentle, playful, and incredibly patient. The dog, who was once shaped by force, had finally discovered trust. He no longer reacted with fear or tension. Even around other animals, he chose to keep his distance rather than engage in conflict. He had found a new kind of strength, a quiet confidence that came from knowing he was loved. One afternoon, while the family was out for a walk together, Titan suddenly stopped. His body went rigid, his attention fixed on something just ahead. Out of nowhere, another dog appeared, agitated and aggressive, barking and lunging toward them. The family froze, their hearts pounding, but Titan didn't panic. Without a moment's hesitation, he stepped forward, not to attack, but to seal. He positioned his body squarely between the danger and the people he loved, a living wall of protection. He stood his ground, a low growl rumbling in his chest, a clear warning. After moments that felt like an eternity, the other dog backed down and retreated. Titan stayed standing, calm and steady, until the threat was gone. The family was unharmed. They immediately brought Titan to the veterinarian to make sure he was okay. As they explained what had happened, the staff gathered around, listening in awe. The vet smiled warmly. "That dog trusted you enough to protect you," he said, patting Titan's head. "He didn't fight because of his training. He protected you because you're his family." In that moment, it was clear. Titan was no longer defined by his past. He was defined by his choice. The choice to love, to trust, and to protect. No being is born violent. Pain teaches fear, but love teaches healing. And sometimes, one safe home, one patient heart is enough to change a life forever. If you met a dog shaped by hardship, would you see only the scars of their past, or would you see the possibility of who they could become? Titan's story reminds us that every soul is worth saving, and that the greatest strength is not in the fight, but in the love we choose to give. Thank you for watching. If you were moved by Titan's story, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that celebrates the power of kindness and second chances.